रहेगा.
With the reopening of restaurants, malls and religious places in India, now there seems to be a slow but a definite move towards normality, return to normality from today. Let's find out what various states governments are doing, because there is, while the center has said all these places can open, various states are being cautious, are being extra careful, and there are different measures being taken. For that, we have Moushumi Gupta, who, as you know, tracks the government for us and has been tracking the lockdown and unlock both for the print very closely. Do send in your questions. As I said, this is the live episode of Government Matters. She'll be happy to answer them. Moushumi, so what do the new norms from today say? First, let's talk about what the center has said and what all can open from 8th June onwards.
Ruhi, when the center unveiled its unlockdown plan starting June 1, so it clearly said that states can open different parts of the economy in phases. So as per that plan, from June 8, which is today, malls, restaurants and religious places are to open. In the second phase, which will be in July, they will take a call on opening educational institutions, college and universities.
Right.
And in the last phase, which will happen, depending on how the situation is, a call will be taken on whether international travel would be allowed, as well as metro services would be allowed or not.
Right.
So from today onwards, many of the states have opened malls, religious places and restaurants.
But no cinema halls,
no cinema halls.
No
in fact, decision on cinema hall is also to be taken in the third phase, which will happen sometime in July.
Right. So, Moushumi, what are the norms that are required to be followed as far as opening of malls and as far as opening of restaurants particularly is concerned?
Ruhi, the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare had laid down very specific do's and don'ts for all the three places. For instance, they have said that in places of worship, in temples for instance, the entry and exit has to be regulated. Then the devotees are not supposed to touch idols or the choir books, no touching. And also devotees, there won't be any distribution of prashads also in the temples. So that is one. In restaurants also, for instance, very strict guidelines have been issued, as in how many people can be inside a restaurant at a particular time, what all protocols.
So only 50% of the
50% of the restaurants have to be opened, and then sanitization measures have to be put in place very strictly. Nobody will be allowed without wearing a mask. Also, in all these three places, Ruhi, the Health Ministry guidelines says that Arogya Setu app has to be downloaded by the people.
Right.
As in if you're a devotee going to a temple, you have to have a Arogya Setu app. If you're going to a restaurant, you will have to download this app. Though the center had earlier, while traveling in airlines and trains, they have said that it's advisable, but now they have made it mandatory.
Right.
So lot of strict do's and don'ts in place. And also, Ruhi, today is the first day, so states are also adopting a very cautious approach.
So that's what I wanted to ask you, Moushumi, what are various states doing? Because as we understand, the states are not allowed to relax further the rules that the center has given, but they can make it more stringent if they want.
Yeah, so center has set the broad benchmarks and it has allowed the states to fine tune. But even despite that, many of the states, for instance, are treading very cautiously. For instance, Orissa, Tamil Nadu, they have not opened. They have taken a decision that malls, restaurants and religious places will be open only after June 30th. Within states also, there are a lot of differences. For instance, UP, for instance, though the state government has allowed opening of malls and restaurants, shopkeepers are not opening their shops inside the malls, saying that the
not
cost,
enough people are,
there are not enough people and they won't be able to sustain the cost of opening up. So in Delhi again, malls have opened, even religious places have opened. For instance, Hanuman Mandir in Connaught Place, they opened up and they are allowing only 5 to 10, maximum 10 people at any given point of time. They have put up a sanitizing tunnel at the entry, disinfectant tunnel at the entry where through which people are supposed to enter, and also they are not distributing any prasad.
No touching of idols.
Yeah, no touching of idols. You have to stand at a distance and pray. Sacred Heart Cathedral, for instance, they have decided not to open. They are not taking any chance. Gurdwara Bangla Sahib, again, they have opened up and they are allowing devotees, but they have said that nobody will be allowed to enter with their shoes on. They have to keep it inside their cars, inside their vehicles, and also they have also put up this disinfectant tunnel at the gates. But in Bangla Sahib, for instance, they are distributing prasad, which is against the central rules.
Right.
In some of the states, for instance, Ruhi, in Madhya Pradesh, for instance, in Ujjain, in the temples, they are allowing devotees who have made pre-registered booking.
Right.
So, for instance, the Mahakaleshwar temple in Ujjain, they are allowing only.
So as to avoid rush.
Yes. So different states are taking, different. Right. But then there are some states which have not, like I said, Orissa and Tamil Nadu, for instance.
Being extra cautious.
Yeah. Maharashtra, in fact, when the unlock one happened on June 1, Maharashtra said that, they postponed it for a week. So in fact, today Maharashtra has opened up, but they have not taken any call on opening restaurants, hotels.
Right. And Maharashtra is also a bit of an exception because of the complete spike in cases there and how it has been a hotbed as far as COVID is concerned. But in Delhi also, interestingly, Moushumi, as you point out, the various measures different states are taking, hotels and banquets halls, Arvind Kejriwal, the CM, has said will not open, right?
Yeah, they are not opening up hotels and banquets because they are saying that there is a huge surge in cases. Right. So if required in an emergency situation, the hotels and banquet halls would be tied to a hospital and would be converted into a COVID care center. Right. In fact, Ruhi, that's one of the reasons that most of the states are treading cautiously, because despite opening up, there has been a huge spike in the number of cases. As we speak, I mean, the last 24 hours, total of 9,983 cases were reported from India.
Right.
The total number of cases have gone up to 2.56 lakhs. The number of deaths has also increased. In the last 24 hours, 206 people have died. So states don't want to take a chance, but the fact remains that opening these malls, restaurants is again also imperative because it's linked to the economy.
The economy, right. And for how long can you continue to remain under lockdown? Okay, let's start taking a few questions. Jacob, is India prepared for opening the malls, restaurants and religious places? Is this not a mere gimmick? Now, can we ever be ready as long as the virus is hovering around?
It's not a gimmick because, like I said, it's imperative that these open up because of its direct link to the economy. Ruhi, in April and May, the unemployment figures in India, the overall employment figures was to the tune of over 23.5%. This is as per the Center for Monitoring Indian Economy data.
Right.
So the employment numbers are going up.
Right.
And these places do give work to a number of youngsters, number of people, malls, shopping places. I mean, one mall, a small medium or a medium-sized mall engages hundreds of young people, restaurants for instance. So, and they have been without jobs, they have been without work since the lockdown.
Without pay,
and they are opening up after over 2 months.
Right,
so
70 days, 70 odd days, right? Okay, Pawan Pingle, as per what we understand, this phase-wise opening has been done so that government gets time for mass hospitalization. Is that right? So, is it also a way of buying time in a way that, you first open this much, you see how much you can deal with the spike, and then, okay, you can deal with this much to open one more step?
Yeah, that's why they have, the phase-wise opening up is also because, the government sees how things are panning out. If there is a huge spike in cases, maybe they will take some decision not to restrict opening of certain sectors. So they want to see how it goes. Opening up everything at one go is not advisable, and the government also knows that. I mean, various reports submitted by the different government teams have said so. So that is why a very cautious approach on what all can be. And again, the center has very carefully said that the respective states will take a call on what they think could be opened up,
Right.
and how it could be opened up.
Right. Tarush, are religious places complaining about alcohol-based sanitizers? My God, I had not thought of this angle, but is that at all being raised?
I don't think
I don't
any
think
of the
anybody can
religious
afford to do that
places,
right
because they know the risk of
Right.
not sanitizing.
And
so
sanitizer still at least what 60-70% alcohol will not
Yeah,
be
70% alcohol.
will not be
Yeah, yes.
effective, right?
Yes.
Tarush, again, is there a rule of the number of people allowed in a mosque? Or let me expand the question. Why just a mosque? Gurudwara, church, temple. So are they setting a limit to the number of people who can enter the premise?
different states have set up different limits. Ruhi, for instance, in Delhi, for instance, they are saying that they won't let at one go, they won't let more than 10 people. In Madhya Pradesh, for instance, in the just Mahakaleshwar temple, they are saying that they would allow 350 people in 2 hours. So different states have set up different limits,
Right.
depending on how much they can handle, and of course by how much they can handle, and ensuring that social distancing norms are followed even within the temple. The decision not to give prasad is in fact
Correct, in line with that.
Yeah, in line with that only.
Right. Akshay Iyer, is it really feasible to go to work? Well, we are sitting in office, so as long as you're following precautions and maintaining social distancing, I assume, Moushumi.
Yeah.
I think that's the whole idea, that the government has also opened up workplaces, because the idea is that you come to work, you resume normality, but you take adequate precautions.
This is how you will,
Go back to normal at
go
some
back
point.
to normal. Though is again going to be a new normal.
Correct.
Because wearing a mask will be mandatory,
sitting far apart.
and maintaining social distance and washing your hands. So that's going to be, that's going to be the new norm now, which you will have to adhere to wherever you are. Even if you're coming to office, you are going to mall, you are going
Right.
eating,
or meeting people, or whatever you do, right? Aditya Adi, why keep gyms shut? So I think apparently, I think the question is that if you're opening up so much, why gyms? But I suppose the contact part is far more.
Yeah, in fact, gyms will be opened up, but in the Unlock 1 plan, the government has again kept
Gyms and swimming
gyms
pools.
in the third phase. So in the third phase, that is going to happen sometime in end July. So gyms, cinema halls, swimming pools, they would take a call there. And the idea is not to open gyms, swimming pools right now. Is basically they can't open up everything at one
Right.
go. And in a swimming pool,
that's
there's very
too much
limited
of
chance of
contact.
not getting in contact with another person there.
Even in gyms, I suppose you touch the same equipment, so that's
Yeah.
a bit of a risk that the government doesn't want to take at this point. Divya, Congress spokesperson Ajay Makan said this is a premature step by the Delhi CM. While the cases are rising, the recovery rate is low. Your comments?
I don't think it's a premature step, because there have been hundreds and thousands of these young people who have been without work, and many of them are sole earning members of their family.
Right.
So sooner or later you will have to go back to work. You will have to go back to work after ensuring that you follow all the protocols. You can't be sitting at home forever.
Right.
So, and the virus is not going to go away anytime soon. So you will have to, the Chief Minister also said, the Prime Minister has also said in the past, that you will have to learn to live with the virus.
Right.
The earlier you adapt to it, the better. As in, adapt to the new normal and go on with your life, it's better.
Right.
The only good thing, the silver lining as far as India is concerned, is that even though the number of cases have spiked, the recovery rate is also good, and the fatality rates are very
And
low.
also the R naught has declined. It hasn't, which is the transmission rate, which is the R naught, has not risen.
Yeah.
It has in fact declined. So that's a positive.
States are cautious, because now, though the government is not admitting it,